guys, what's up? How are you? Are you doing well? I really hope you are. So today I'm launching a new series on my YouTube. It's gonna be called What Disney Taught Us. As kids growing up and watching those Disney movies and the cartoons and everything, we didn't quite get the entire story. We couldn't understand certain things. But watching the movies now that we're older and we are able to see things in a different perspective, we understand things better, if you'd say it like that. So I decided to start this new series. Before I begin, I would like to state that those are my personal views and what I got out of the movies. So if you have any further things that you noticed or want to talk about, I would love to hear all about it in the comments. So today we're gonna be starting this new series with the most recent movie that I rewatched, which is the Aristocats, and of course I had to wear my t-shirt, well, sweatshirt of Aristocats. So recently I watched Aristocats with my mom and I sat down and thought about a few things. First of all, I would like to state that cats in general are they have a bad name, to put it simply. I was talking with my best friend about this the other day, and we have talked about this multiple times because they have a certain name, like they don't get attached, they don't love their humans, and they won't miss you if they're gone. They won't want to come home and stuff like that, that they're rebels and stuff like that. And maybe to a point that's true, but in Aristocats we see the cats that are living in the house, like a lady and her 3 babies, Marie Toulouse and Berlioz, and they're living with Madame in the big house, and you can see that they're attached to their human, because the moment that they leave the house and they're out in the wild and they're free in a way, the first thing that they want to do is go back home, and they're trying to find any means possible to make that happen. Now, on the other side, we are told that people don't really care for their animals, like that's the thing. We see in the movie that Madame invites someone to write down her will, and the first thing that she does is make sure that her kittens and her cat are taken care of, and after their death, that her servant gets everything. She wants to provide for her cats, to make their life as good as possible and give them a very good future after she's passed, because she's old, so chances are she's gonna pass before they do. And in the movie we also see the dark side of people, the kind of people that we don't claim, and if you're that kind of person, then I think you should be ashamed, and I don't want to associate with you. But we do see that side when her servant, or whatever he was, I don't recall what he was in the movie, but we see her servant get rid of the cats so he can get to the money and everything else faster. I was really pissed off when all that went down, but karma got him in the end, because all the animals, like the cats, the horses, the mice, even the geese and the dogs got together and got rid of him. So in the end, you will see the true love and this unconditional bond that an owner has with their pet, and vice versa, will always overcome anything, because they're not pets, they're families. So you will see that no matter how much you try to break that bond, if it's genuine and it's real, it can break. So that those are some of the points. Now, the other points that I have, after her servant takes the cats and leaves them in the wild, we see them struggle because they're used to a home. And we see a stray cat. His name in Greek is Themos. I don't remember his name in English, but we see a stray cat, a wild cat, if you will call it, that is used to living in the streets and has like a wildlife and everything, and doesn't believe that a human can possibly care about cats. Like, he's like, she doesn't even miss you and stuff like that. But either way, despite his beliefs, he helps Marie and her 3 babies to get back home. Despite the obstacles, he finds like one of the kittens falls into the water and he jumps to save them. Even though the road is long, he finds a car and they hijack it and they move a long distance, despite the fact that he's like, I don't understand why they go into so much trouble to get home, but I'll help. And once they reach Paris, with the help of 2 geese who are headed there to meet their uncle, he takes Marie and her kittens to meet some of his friends. They're like wildcats as well, and they have this pub thing going on, and they party, and it's really great. And Marie and the kittens fit right in because they feel so welcomed and loved, and they party and they have like a blast. And they spend the night there, and you see Themos not wanting to... You see him changing completely, because even though he has been used to a certain way of lifestyle his entire life, but then he meets Marie and her babies, and he grows attached to them, all of them, and fond of them. And then you see him like really fall for Marie, and for Marie, my bad, not Marie, for Lady. And he doesn't want to like be separated from her and the babies. He even asks her, he even says that they need a dad. And I think that's also important to mention, because family isn't always blood. Like, your fatherly figure isn't always your actual dad, like your dad by blood. It can be your adoptive dad, it can be your mom's boyfriend, or you know, you don't always get the father figure from your actual dad. And I think that's important to say, because many guys that are in a woman's life, in a mom's life, have stepped up and took over the father figure role and the dad role. And we see that happen here, because he's picturing a life with them and he doesn't want to separate with them. But then the next day he walks them home, and he, you know, has to leave, and they go back inside, and then the servant realizes that they're back, so he tries to get rid of them again. And now that's when the beautiful thing happens. Like, the most, like the animals that you wouldn't imagine being close, like cats and mice are chasing each other, like that's the story. But you see a mouse chase after Themos, and he's sent to his wildcat friends, and despite being scared, he stays there to actually get help for Lady and the kittens to get away. And you see that animals coming together and you know, fighting for a better cause, and you know, fighting for each other. It's really beautiful and empowering to see. And in the end, you see that everything changes when Themos becomes part of the family, and he finally feels like he belongs somewhere. He doesn't have to go through life on his own, and he realizes that a person can love an animal and not want to picture life without them. And that's love. That's a love that's real and genuine, and without any benefit or any reason, in, you know. And you also see him become like the fatherly figure for the kids. And in the end, they say that you can have more babies. Like, that's hinted in the end. you need to get some more room because there will be more babies. So yeah, I think that in this movie we're taught a lot about how wrong the picture that the narration about cats is in general, because it's very wrong. And I think many of us have personal experience from that, either from our own pet or from friends' pet, or from strays, because let me tell you, when they sense that you love them, you will get the love back. So it's not the animal, it's not the kind of animal, it's the person and the way they behave, because animals can sense things, and if they sense that you don't have genuine love and affection towards them, they will react. And of course, you'll get the bad side. It's normal. I mean, if a person treats you bad, you will react and treat them bad back. So yeah, that's one thing. The second thing is the genuine and enormous bond that animals have with their owners, with their parents, because we are not owners, we are parents. And the bond that the parents have with their little babies, because that's the most fulfilling thing in the world. And this movie shows that, like, you have the parent at home not being able to sleep and worrying about the babies being outside and being gone, and you have the babies fighting to get back home, even though they could, like, get free and live in the wild. They don't want that. They want their home and their parent. We have a stray cat that's used to the stray life and doesn't believe in commitment and love and parenting and all that stuff. Change his entire beliefs and attitude, and eventually allow himself to be loved and be part of the family, which is beautiful. As I said, we have the father figure that's not always your actual father. It can be someone that steps up to the role, and you know. We have the fact that people are cruel, and honestly, I wish people were half as good as animals are, because the world would be so much better, but we can't have everything. We have the fact that animals get together to protect one another, and even if they're completely different, sometimes they put those differences aside to help one another. And if people did that as well, we would also be a lot better, and we would coexist a lot better. But anyways, and also, animals are the most wonderful thing on earth. That's the thing that comes out of every Disney movie, even though some movies are sad. But in overall, animals are a blessing. And I don't know, I can't get enough of watching Aristocats. I don't know, I get sad when they are thrown out of the house, taken away, and you see them wake up and cry and are cold and they're not used to it. I get really sad, because like, that's a situation that occurs every single day when people abandon their pets, and it's really sad to watch. But you can see how deeply and how truthfully and how genuine the love a little baby has for their parent is. And I don't know, if people realize that, then things would be so much better. But I went on and rambled, but those are the things that Disney taught us through Aristocats, from my personal beliefs and from my personal point of view, and from what I've gathered as a grown-up from the movie as I watched it. As I said, if you have any comments, or you want to add something, or you disagree with something that I said, I would love to hear all about it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.